Here's something you don't see every day, department. There was a mosquito buzzing around the Brewers skipper, Ned Yost. Yost said, "I was just itching a spot," and his third base coach, Nick Leva, thought it was giving the steal sign. I mean, how else could you explain Gabe Gross trying to steal third as Ryan Braun struck out with Prince Fielder coming up? Yost said it set the tone for the night, which, as you can see, did not go well for Milwaukee. Edwin Encarnacion, the single, brings in 2 more runs. Reds score 6 off of Dave Bush in the first. Bottom of the second, more for the Reds. Ken Griffey Jr., 30th of the season, 593rd of his career. Bush gone after 1 inning, 8 runs earned. Milwaukee was down 10-0. Prince Fielder gets the Brewers on the board. I believe he knew he hit that well. 446 feet, his 42nd of the year. Ned Yost, again, this game did not go well in every aspect for the Brewers. He would be tossed. Brewers lose 11-4.
And Pirates. So Chicago behind Rich Hill could win and take the outright division lead. Pittsburgh with other ideas. Bottom 2, already 2-0. Jack Wilson doubling down the left field line. Alfonso Soriano issues. Ronnie Paulino scores all the way from first, and Pittsburgh's up 3-0. Soriano also with trouble at the dish. Third inning, Tom Gorzolani gets him swinging. Gorzolani 7 strong, allowing 1 run on 6 hits. Bottom 3. With 1 aboard, Adam LaRoche doubling over the outstretched arm of Soriano. 32nd double of this season, scoring Jason Bay all the way from first. Pittsburgh is up 4-0. Bottom 6, that's the score. Runner on first for Wilson. He steps in and leaves the building. A 2-run shot, his 9th home run of the season, his highest homer total since 2004 when he crushed 11. Wilson 3 for 4, 3 RBI. Pittsburgh up 6-0. Top 7. Gorzolani gets Soriano again. Lou Pinella's crew now 4-6 against Pittsburgh this season.
Going in and now dealing with the dark side of Rick Ankiel's comeback. Details on that in a minute. Top of the first, Ankiel, the first pitch he sees. I mean, clearly the guy can hit. That's a single to center off Brandon Webb. Ankiel will be stranded on second. Bottom second, scoreless. 1 on 2 out for Brandon Webb facing Adam Wainwright. High chopper to third. Russell Branyan throws it away. Augie Ojeda's rounding third. Did you know Ankiel can throw also? Look at this rocket home, but a tough throw. Yadier Molina can't handle. Ojeda leaps over him and scores. How about that? Instead of the collision, that's the easy way out. Just pop right over the catcher and score. Still a 1-0 game. Here's Jim Edmonds tying things at 1. Solo job off Webb, his 10th of the season. On to the top of the 5th. Still tied at 1. Runner on third for Albert Pujols. And Pujols, the RBI machine, is going to pick up 1 here. That scores Aaron Miles, 2-1 Redbirds. Bottom of the 6th, tied at 2, first and third, 1 out. Chris Young grounds to Aaron Miles, second, steps on second for 1. Can't assume the double play. He just falls down and can't even make the throw. That scores a run, 3-2 Arizona. Still 3-2. Russell Branyan strikes out against Brandon Lyon, 2 down, and then the next batter is Yadier Molina. It's Yadier. He grounds out to Stephen Drew at short. The Diamondbacks go on to win 4-2. So what does it mean for the Central? Everybody's a loser. All 3 of the Central contenders lose on the road. We were a Cardinals win away from having the latest 3-way virtual tie for first place in a division or league since 1967. All right, A-Rod, the Yanks with a 3-game lead in the wild card open up a series in Kansas City, and A-Rod picking up right where he left off on Wednesday. They were idle Thursday, and A-Rod was working it again on Friday. How about 49 for the season? Top 7 tied at 2. Bobby Abreu, this is a clutch hit with 2 outs and a runner on first. That runner just happens to be Derek Jeter, who's going to keep coming and score all the way from first. Yanks go up 3-2. Bottom of the 7th, Jabba Chamberlain's on the pitch. His dad, Harlan, was suffering from polio since he was a kid. Made the trip from Lincoln, Nebraska to watch his son pitch in the bigs for the first time.
I think he's more excited than I've ever been in my entire life. It's good, and that's why we do these things for our family. They've sacrificed so much for us, and to be able to come down and get the treatment that he deserves for all the things that he's done for me. It's awesome.
All right, make him proud, kid. Here's Chamberlain facing Ross Claude. And oh yeah, gets him swinging. family certainly enjoyed that. Same inning, Chamberlain facing Billy Butler with 2 outs. And this was real dangerous here. Look at the dad's reaction in a second. Johnny Damon comes on to make the nice grab. Chamberlain pitches 2 scoreless innings. Kid hasn't allowed a single run in his 14 1/3.
And Detroit, Placido Polanco batting .444 with 6 RBI in his last 10 games. Bottom 1, he steps in with a man aboard against Miguel Batista. Advantage Polanco. Curtis Granderson scores all the way from first on the double, and the Tigers are on top 1-0. 2 batters later, Maglia Ordonez. This with 2 aboard, single, drives in Polanco, 2-0 Tigers. Ordonez with his 121st RBI on the season. Top 7 Mariners down 4-1, but the bases are loaded. And Justin Verlander gets pinch hitting Jeremy Reed swinging, and then Yuniesky Bettengord flies out to end the inning. Verlander, it's his 16th win, 8 strong. 3 Ks, 1 earned. Bottom 7, Curtis Granderson, solo shot. He becomes the 5th player in history with 30 doubles, 20 triples, and 20 homers in a season. 5-1 Tigers. Same inning, Carlos Guillen with 2 aboard. Singles to right, that'll score Polanco. Tigers come through with their first 3-game win streak since July as Detroit rolls. 6-1 is your final. So your AL wildcard situation, the Yankees lead stays at 3, and they have Andy Pettitte against the Royals Saturday. They are
to stay in this thing. There would be plenty of pitching in this one. Not necessarily good pitching, but plenty of pitching. Kaz Matsui, a 2-run shot in the bottom of the first. 4th this season, Rocks enjoying a 2-0 lead. Was 4-0. Albert Ascends being looked at to lead the game, strained left hamstring. Enter Mark Redmond with the bases loaded. Adrian Gonzalez, base hit the center. That's going to score 2. And the Padres cut their deficit in half. It's a 4-2 game. Top 7, Padres down 5-4. First and second, 2 down. Kevin Kuzminoff strikes out swinging on the pitch by Jorge Julio. Bottom 8, still 5-4 Rocks. 2 on, Brad Hopp, base hit. Scores Todd Helton. Rockies come up 6-4 now. And the very next batter, Troy Tulowitzki. Gonna pile on here. Base hit the left, scores J.V. Carroll. The Rockies score 5 in the 8th. Get this, Colorado used 10 pitchers. They tie the Major League Baseball record for a 9-inning game, and they win this field or the Polo Grounds. Where was Pee Wee? But it is happening at AT&T Park. LA trying to win their 12th straight visit to Barrie and San Francisco. With Bonds on first, Rafael Furcal, little hesitation. The bad throw to Jeff Kent, couldn't handle. Can't turn the easy double play. You never assume those things. Pedro Feliz, base hit to center. Giants cut the lead to 3-2. And the next batter is Omar Vizquel. Ground ball to short. There's Furcal. Goes over to first for the out. But a run does score to tie things at 3. Next batter's Randy Winn. Base hit to left. Run scores. Giants go up 4-3. Top of the 9th now. Giants trying to hang on to that 4-3 lead, and I don't think so. James Loney, if it's fair, it's gone. Get out of town, tied at 4. In the bottom of the 9th, Daniel Ortmeyer. A walk-off home run off Jonathan Broxton. Broxton, the 3rd home run he's allowed in his last 9 appearances after not allowing a single home run in his first 63 appearances this season. All right, back to the ballpark. First place Mets with a 5-game lead in their back pocket. Welcome the Astros to Big Shea. Mike Pelfrey 0-4 at Big Shea this season. Wandy Rodriguez chopping a short off Jose Reyes. That's no problem, because Luis Castillo was standing by. Never assumed the 6-4-3 double play. Nice play all around. That's teamwork. Top of the 6th, the Astros trailing 5-2. Greg Biggio. Loop job to right. Lastings Millage coming on. And how often do you see a guy make a diving catch in right field in the top of the 6th, and then in the bottom of the 6th, he hits a 3-run home run. Mets explode for 11. They score in double digits for the 3rd time in the last 4 games.
Marlins and the Phillies. Philadelphia opening up a 7-game homestand against last place Florida. J.D. Durbin didn't record an out against the Marlins in his last start. Top 2 were scoreless. They're on the corners for Cody Ross. Doubles down the left field line. Miguel Cabrera scores. Pat Burrell bobbling twice. His error allows Mike Jacobs to score. Phillies down 2-0. Inning continues after a Miguel Olivo walk. Yin Kim lays down the sac bunt. It's fielded by Ryan Howard. Howard trying to throw 3rd. Oh, my, that was not pretty. Howard charged with the error. Second E of the inning for the Phillies. Olivo scores right behind Ross. Phillies down 4-0 after 2. Bottom 5, Phillies down 5-3. After a leadoff double, Kim strikes out Jimmy Rollins, and this is Worth another look. Jason Worth looking foolish in the next inning. Worth not even close on the swing. Phillies would strike out 10 times during the game as the Marlins double up the Phillies 6-3. Philadelphia has now lost 5 of 6 overall and are 3 games out in the NL wildcard race. Baseball battle of division leaders, Indians-Angels. Garrett Anderson with an RBI streak of 11 straight games entering Friday night. Bottom 1 with a runner on third and 1 out. Anderson, base knock up the middle. Sean Figgins scores. Anderson now with a dozen straight games with an RBI. John Lackey getting to win number 17 on the season. He was dialed in top 3. Ryan Garko goes down swinging. Next batter, Johnny Peralta takes a seat. 2 batters later, Frank Gutierrez gets rung up. Lackey 7 strong, 6 hits, 1 earned, 6 Ks. Top 9, Francisco Rodriguez on the bump facing Garko. Garko steps in and takes the K-Rod offering deep and gone and out. 6th blown save of the season for K-Rod, 1 shy of his career high. We're tied at 2s. Inning continues. Scott Shields now in the game with the bases loaded, and he gets Asdrubal Cabrera looking inning over. Bottom 10, runners on the corners. Still tied at 2 with 1 out. Kendry Morales, base knocked down the right field line. That'll score Figgins. Angels now 7-3 in extra inning games this season. 3-2 the final.
All right, some fireworks with the Red Sox in Baltimore. Picking up top of the 4th, Dustin Pedroia facing Daniel Cabrera. Now, Coco Crisp is on third. He had bunted earlier. Cabrera is charged with a balk. The Red Sox have a 3-0 lead. And once you watch Cabrera balk, Crisp was dancing between third and home. Cabrera got rattled and maybe just ticked off and just totally loses his cool. Next pitch, fires the ball behind Dustin Pedroia's head. The home plate umpire Mike DeMuro issued a warning to Cabrera in both benches. Terry Francona wants to know why he wasn't thrown out of the game. The O's Ramon Hernandez hot. Now the bench is clear, everybody getting involved. Eventually Cabrera is ejected, then he loses it, trying to challenge the entire Red Sox, although not in the game. Red Sox, though, their AL leading 13th shutout of the season. Twins and White Sox, they make the show because they make history. That's right. Top of the 9th, 7-4 Twins. Rondell White, a 3-run blast, 10-4 Twins. They score 6 runs in the top of the 9th. Okay, keep that in mind. 6 runs in the top of the 9th. Bottom of the 9th, Jim told me a 3-run shot, 496 of his career. He's right around 4 shy of 500. Cuts the lead to 10-9. Darren Erstad, the tying run on third. And Erstad, ground rule double to center. Scott Podsednik scores the tie of the game, so the White Sox score 6 in the bottom of the 9th. First time that's ever happened. 6 in the top of the 9th, 6 in the bottom of the 9th. In the bottom of the 13th, A.J. Brzezinski, the game-winning single. White Sox win 11, 10, and 13. Begin with number 10, Sesame Street's Elmo, ready for some football. A crash course from the Jets coach Eric Mangini, Chad Pennington, Lavernius Coles, and Ben Graham. Elmo, nice grab, good hands. He's listed as probable on the injury list.
Number 9, BMW Championship round number 2. Tiger Woods' 3rd shot after dropping from the car path on number 9. Gorgeous placement. Woods, one shot off the lead at 8 under.
At number 8, Venus Williams and Justine Anna. Williams, nice forehand return, approaches, and the finisher there. Williams would lose in straight sets, 7-6, 6-4.
Number 7,
On the number 6 we go, Red Sox and Orioles. Melvin Mora figures he's got at least an extra base hit here. But Jacoby Ellsbury, a very nice grab. Is there anything that kid can't do? Red Sox win 4-0.
Number 5, Navy Rutgers. Kaiponoa Sehanoodu looking deep into the end zone. He's picked up by Courtney Green. Check it out again. Scarlet Knights roll 41-24.
At number 4, as promised, Red Sox Orioles. Tyke Redmond into the hole. And Kevin Youkilis, the diving stab on the toss to John Lester. Youkilis would set an American League record, 179 consecutive errorless games at first base.
Number 3, Braves Nationals. Pitcher John Smoltz flirting with a no-no. didn't allow a hit through 7 on the way to his 13th win. He strikes out 10, and his Braves get the victory 7-1.
Cubs have dropped 4 of 5, share the lead in the National League Central. Carlos Zambrano's lost 5 straight starts, was booed at home last week, did not enjoy that much at all. There he gets Ryan Doumit. He's a Gonzaga guy, isn't he, Ryan Doumit? Ronnie Paulino swinging as well. Alfonso Soriano here. That distinctive follow-through that lets you know he thinks he has gotten most of it, and he has, just barely, but it's out. 2-run shot, his 23rd. Chicago's up 3-0. Doumit here chops one back to Zambrano, who gloves it. The Cubbies win it by a score of 5-1.
All right, I'm going to see your Cubs. I'm going to raise you the Brewers. Milwaukee at Cincinnati. They, of course, began the day tied with the Cubs for first. Top 6, Prince Fielder upstairs, bro, off Aaron Harang to lead off the 6. And a 3-1 game's now 3-2. Fielder's 43rd. Top 9, game tied at 3. Runner on second. Ricky Weeks off David Weathers and Craig Counsell, who singled and was sacrificed to second. He scores, and the Brewers win 4-3 is your final. So take a look at the standings in the NL Central. Ben Sheets and Steve Traxel going for the Brewers and Cubs, respectively. San Diego Padres, that NL wildcard hopeful. Colorado, remember, our Steve Phillips at Colorado is going to win that NL wildcard. Jeff Francis looking for his 16th win. Kevin Kuzminoff looking for something else. Singles up the middle, and it's 1-0 Dads. Greg Maddux dealing. Just ask Brad Hopp. And then ask Troy Tulowitzki. Good game to watch. Maddux, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 3 Ks. He extends his no-walk streak to 54 1/3. He's money, and he knows it. Matt Holliday against Heath Bell. Advantage Bell. Padres, 3-1.
Dodgers still in the race, both in the West and in the wild card. Barry Zito, 1.8 ERA his last 5 starts. That's a good stat for him. Luis Gonzalez's career average against Zito's better, 500. 3-run shot here in the top of the first on a 3-1 pitch made it 3-0 Dodgers. David Wells, who has a perfect game to his credit, was working on another one until he faced Kevin Franson here, and David was smoked. Wells pitched beautifully. This guy was released earlier this year. He's just lying around, and the Dodgers pick him up. That's Barry Bonds swinging and missing at the Jonathan Broxton offering. The Dodgers win 6-2. So
let's go back to Major League Baseball. Red Sox Nation still accepting applications for its president. Daniel Cabrera need not apply. Boston and Baltimore, where they haven't won at home since the Millard-Fillmore administration, against Daisuke Matsuzaka, who walks Kevin Millar with the bases loaded. Second run walked in, game tied at 4. 3 batters later, bartender Saki. Grand slam for Scott Moore. Matsuzaka, 2 2/3, allows 8 earned. The Orioles win 11-5. Afterwards, Matsuzaka apologized.
Oh, strokes, natty boo, son. Well, that might be the last chance I get all year to do that. It could be the last Oriole win. This is Travis Hafner of the Cleveland Indians. They lead 3-0. He hits it out there into the gap off Chris Butchek. The Indians lead 5-0. They are providing the offense. CC Sabathia providing the pitching, and he was dealing. Bottom 9, it's a 6-1 game. Sabathia trying to close it out, complete game, and 95 miles an hour in the ninth. That's nice. Garrett Anderson flies out. His streak of 12 straight games with an RBI ends as Cleveland gets their 82nd win of the season.
Now the baseball wildcard leading Yankees in Kansas City. A-Rod 6 homers in his last 9 games in the 4th. Daddy Yankee. Off Brian Bannister. Goodness gracious. A-Rod's 50th of the year. 4-0 Yankees. Let's move to the 6th. He's not done. Make it 51. Major League high 51 homers to go along with 138 ribbies. Jobber Chamberlain gets the ball and shows it to Ron Vallone, and look at Vallone. He's like, dude. Later in the inning, A-Rod making another bid for another home run. This one's caught on the warning track. Royal fans giving him his due. Yankees have won a Major League best 37.
Second place in the wild card chase. Bottom 6, game tied at 5 with 1 aboard. It's Inge abusing the Jeff Weaver offering. His 14th of the season. Detroit up 7-5. Weaver rocked 5 innings, 6 earned. Bottom 7, Inge again with a runner on second. Draws the intentional walk from Ryan Roland Smith. Next batter, Curtis Granderson draws a walk to load the bases. That would be it for Roland Smith. Sean Green comes in to face Placido Polanco. And with the bases loaded, he comes through with his 32nd double of the season. Polanco's first 4 RBI game since 2005. Detroit wins. The NL West leaders trying to win a 4th straight against Tony La Russa's defending world champions. Bottom 4, Diamondbacks down 7-4 with 2 aboard. Braden Looper on the bump. Stephen Drew deep and gone. His 11th home run of the season. We're tied at 7. Bottom 8, Diamondbacks up 9-8 with a runner aboard. It's Drew to the gap in left center. Jim Edmonds, are you kidding me? And then gets up and throwing and doubles off Jeff Cirillo at first. It's a top play nominee. Top 9 with 2 out. Last chance for the Cardinals. Skip Schumacher grounds out to third. Diamondbacks go on to win 9-8. Jose Valverde comes through with his 44th save of the season along the way.
Can make our top 10. Oregon and Michigan starting us off. Jeremiah Johnson. Get off me. I said get off me. 33-yard run off a ridiculous stiff arm. Ducks continue the Wolverines' misery.
Number 9, Clemson taking on L.A. Monroe. Kinsman Lancaster to LeGregory Sapp. Great catch, tipping the ball to himself. Warhawks take the loss 49-26.
Cardinals and D-backs. Brendan Ryan tracking, bobbles, and he holds on. Oh, look at that. Barehanded grab there. But the Cardinals lose to the D-backs.
Number 7, Nevada and Northwestern. C.J. Boucher with the 13-yard touchdown pass to Ross Lane with 21 seconds on the clock as the Wildcats come back and win 36-31.
At number 6, Hawaii and Louisiana Tech. Colt Brennan, 548 yards, 4 touchdowns. That one to Devon Best. Look at him bobble. We saw Brendan Ryan bobble and catching. There's Devin Best doing the same.
Number 5, South Florida taking on Auburn. Taurus Johnson, one-hand well.
One-handed catch by Taurus Johnson. Whoa, what a catch.
Are you kidding me? That's Sports Center material right there.
Yes, it is. Bulls shock the Tigers 26-23 in OT.
All about cross-promotion, CB. How about Ichiro? Great jumping catch. Man. But the Mariners lose.
Too bad that didn't score 7 runs.